Elena stared out the airplane window, her breath fogging up the glass as she leaned closer. The vast expanse of white below seemed almost surreal, like a scene from a dream she had long cherished. She could hardly believe that she was finally on her way to Iceland, a place she had read about and seen in countless documentaries. Below, the world was a sea of white, stretching endlessly in every direction. The snow-covered mountains and valleys looked like they were carved from pure ice, glistening under the pale winter sun. It was a sight that took her breath away, a stark contrast to the bustling city life she was used to. Soon she would land in Iceland, a land of stark contrasts and natural wonders. The anticipation was almost too much to bear. She had read about the geothermal pools, the black sand beaches, and the majestic waterfalls, but seeing them in person was going to be an entirely different experience. It had been her dream for years, a dream that had kept her going through tough times. The thought of exploring such a unique and beautiful place had always filled her with hope and excitement. Now that dream was about to become a reality. She wanted to see the land of fire and ice, a place where volcanoes and glaciers coexist in a delicate balance. The dramatic landscapes, shaped by the forces of nature, promised an adventure unlike any other. She had always been fascinated by the raw power and beauty of such places. She wanted to see the northern lights dance in the night sky, their vibrant colors painting the darkness with hues of green, pink, and purple. It was a spectacle she had only seen in pictures and videos, but she knew that witnessing it in person would be a magical experience. Since she was little, Elena loved adventure. She had always been the kind of person who sought out new experiences, whether it was hiking in the mountains, exploring hidden trails, or simply getting lost in a new city. The thrill of discovery was something she cherished deeply. She loved exploring new places, immersing herself in different cultures and meeting new people. Each journey was a story waiting to be written, a chapter in the book of her life. Iceland was going to be one of the most exciting chapters yet. Pictures of Iceland with its glaciers and volcanoes always fascinated her. The stark beauty of the icy landscapes, juxtaposed with the fiery eruptions of volcanoes, created a scene that was both otherworldly and captivating. She couldn't wait to capture these moments with her own eyes. But it was the northern lights that really captured her imagination. The ethereal glow of the aurora borealis dancing across the sky was something she had dreamed of seeing for as long as she could remember. It was a natural wonder that seemed almost too beautiful to be real. The thought of seeing them filled her with wonder. She imagined standing under the vast Icelandic sky, watching the lights swirl and shift, feeling a sense of connection to the universe. It was a moment she knew would stay with her forever. Elena saved money for this trip for years, setting aside a little bit each month. It wasn't easy, but she was determined. Every time she felt like giving up, she reminded herself of the dream that awaited her. The sacrifices were worth it. She planned every little detail, from the flights to the accommodations to the tours she wanted to take. She spent countless hours researching, reading travel blogs, and watching videos to make sure she didn't miss anything. Her itinerary was a labor of love. She planned hikes, tours, and all sorts of exciting things. She wanted to hike on glaciers, explore ice caves, and take guided tours to learn more about the unique geology and history of Iceland. Each activity was carefully chosen to make the most of her time there. She wanted to experience all the beauty of Iceland, from the rugged coastlines to the serene fjords. The landscapes were like something out of a fairy tale, and she couldn't wait to see them with her own eyes. She knew that each view would be more breathtaking than the last. She wanted to feel the crunch of snow under her boots and the cold air on her face. The sensation of walking through a winter wonderland was something she had always dreamed of. She imagined the crisp, fresh air filling her lungs and the snowflakes melting on her skin. As the plane started to land, she got really excited. Her heart raced with anticipation and she could hardly sit still. The closer they got to the ground, the more real it all felt. She was about to step into a world she had only ever seen in her dreams. The frozen world outside got closer, and she could see the details of the landscape coming into focus. The snow-covered fields, the icy rivers, and the distant mountains all seemed to welcome her. It was a sight that filled her with awe and excitement. Elena pressed her face against the cold window, her eyes wide with wonder. She wanted to take in every detail, to remember this moment forever. The cold glass against her skin was a reminder that this was real, that she was really here. She was ready for an adventure that would take her to the heart of Iceland's natural beauty. She felt a sense of excitement and determination, knowing that this trip would be everything she had hoped for and more. An adventure she knew she would never forget. This was the beginning of a journey that would leave a lasting impression on her heart and soul. A journey that would become a cherished memory for years to come. The plane landed gently at Keflavik Airport. When Elena stepped outside, a blast of cold air hit her. It was exciting. She pulled her hat down tight and breathed in the crisp, clean air. It had a slightly metallic smell, the smell of winter. The airport was small and modern. Elena easily found the bus to Reykjavik. As the bus drove through the snowy landscape, Elena looked out the window. Everything was white, the ground, the trees, the mountains in the distance. It was like a fairy tale. The sun was starting to set, creating long shadows on the snow. The sky was a mix of pink, blue, and purple. Elena felt peaceful. She was finally here, in this magical place. After an hour, the bus arrived in Reykjavik. The city was small and charming, with colorful buildings close together. Twinkling lights decorated the streets, making it feel festive. Elena couldn't wait to explore. Elena spent the next day exploring Reykjavik, a city that seemed to be pulled straight from a winter fairy tale. The snow-covered streets sparkled under the soft glow of the winter sun, creating a magical atmosphere that was both serene and invigorating. She walked the narrow streets, each turn revealing a new picturesque scene. The quaint houses with their colorful facades stood in stark contrast to the white snow, making the entire city look like a living postcard. Stopping in cozy cafes for hot chocolate became a delightful ritual. Each cafe had its own unique charm, offering a warm refuge from the cold outside. The rich, creamy hot chocolate was the perfect companion as she watched the world go by through frosted windows. The city was charming, a mix of old and new. Historic buildings stood proudly next to modern architecture, creating a unique blend that told the story of Reykjavik's past and present. The juxtaposition was fascinating, each structure adding to the city's character. Elena visited the famous Hallgrímskirkja church, its tall white tower reaching towards the sky. The church, an iconic symbol of Reykjavik, offered a breathtaking view of the city from its observation deck. The panoramic vista of snow-covered rooftops and distant mountains was a sight to behold. She walked along the waterfront, watching the waves crash on the shore. The contrast between the icy landscape and the powerful ocean was mesmerizing. The rhythmic sound of the waves was calming, a reminder of nature's relentless beauty. Even though it was cold, the air felt fresh and good. Each breath was invigorating, filling her lungs with the crisp, clean air of the north. It was a refreshing change from the hustle and bustle of city life back home. Elena felt alive, excited by the city. The vibrant energy of Reykjavik was infectious, and she found herself smiling at the simple joys of exploring a new place. Every corner held a new discovery, every moment a new memory. She tried Icelandic foods like plokkfiskur, a fish stew, which was hearty and comforting. The flavors were rich and savory, a perfect meal for a cold winter day. Each bite was a taste of Iceland's culinary heritage, and ate cinnamon rolls from a local bakery. The rolls were warm and fragrant, with a sweet, spicy aroma that filled the air. They were a delicious treat, a little piece of warmth in the cold winter landscape. That evening, Elena went on a guided tour of the city. The streets, now illuminated by streetlights, took on a different charm. The soft glow of the lights reflected off the snow, creating a magical, almost ethereal atmosphere. The guide, a friendly Icelander named Bjorn, told stories about Icelandic folklore and history. His tales were captivating, painting vivid pictures of the past and the legends that shaped the land. His passion for his country was evident in every word. He showed them important places like the Parliament House and the National Museum. Each location had its own story, a piece of the puzzle that made up Iceland's rich history. The architecture, the artifacts, everything spoke of a proud and resilient culture. As the tour ended, Bjorn reminded everyone to look for the northern lights. The anticipation in the group was palpable, everyone hoping for a glimpse of the elusive aurora borealis. "The forecast is good tonight," he said with a wink. "You might get lucky." His words sparked a sense of excitement and hope among the tourists. Elena's heart jumped. Could tonight be the night? The thought of witnessing the northern lights filled her with a sense of wonder and anticipation. She couldn't wait to see if the sky would light up with nature's most spectacular light show. The next morning, Elena went on a tour of the Golden Circle. This famous route takes visitors to some of Iceland's most amazing natural sights. The first stop was Thingvellir National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Elena stood at the edge of a rift valley, amazed by the powerful forces that shaped the land. Next was the Geysir geothermal area. Elena watched in awe as Stroker Geyser erupted, shooting hot water high into the air. The ground shook, and the air smelled like sulfur. It was a powerful experience. The last stop was Gullfoss, a huge waterfall that crashed down into a canyon. Elena was mesmerized by the waterfall's spray. The power of nature was everywhere. As the sun started to set, turning the landscape golden, Elena thought about the northern lights. Could tonight be the night? She held her breath, hoping to see them. Elena returned to Reykjavik, thinking about all the amazing things she had seen. The city was a blend of modernity and tradition, with its colorful houses and vibrant street art. She loved the cozy cafes and the friendly locals who always had a story to share. But she still hadn't seen the northern lights. It was the one experience that had eluded her, despite her many adventures in this beautiful country. Every night, she checked the aurora forecast, feeling hopeful and excited. She had downloaded several apps and followed multiple websites, all dedicated to predicting the elusive lights. One evening, the forecast looked good. The probability of seeing the aurora was high and the skies were clear. A local guide, Helga, was taking a small group away from the city lights to see the aurora. Helga was known for her expertise and passion for the northern lights. Elena joined the group right away. She felt a mix of anticipation and excitement as she boarded the bus. As the bus drove through the dark countryside, Helga explained how the aurora borealis works. The landscape outside was a serene, snowy expanse, adding to the magical atmosphere. "It's all about solar winds," she said, her voice full of excitement. "These winds carry charged particles from the sun which then collide with our atmosphere. Charged particles from the sun hit our atmosphere and create this amazing light show." Helga's enthusiasm was contagious and everyone on the bus listened intently. Elena listened carefully, looking out the window. The night was dark and the stars were twinkling brightly. Everyone on the bus was looking at the sky, hoping to see the first flash of green. The anticipation was palpable, and there was a sense of camaraderie among the group. They stopped in a wide-open plain, far from any city lights. The location was perfect for aurora viewing, with an unobstructed view of the sky. It was very cold, but Elena didn't mind. She had dressed warmly, with layers of clothing to keep the chill at bay. She stepped off the bus and looked up at the sky. The air was crisp, and her breath formed small clouds in the cold night. For a moment, there was nothing. The sky was just a canvas of stars, beautiful but devoid of the aurora. And then, she saw it. A faint green glow appeared on the horizon, slowly growing brighter and more vivid. The northern lights had finally made their appearance, dancing across the sky in a mesmerizing display. A faint, shimmering green glow appeared in the distance. It danced and flickered, getting brighter and brighter. Everyone gasped as the northern lights began their show in the sky. Elena watched in amazement as waves of green, purple, and pink filled the sky. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. The lights twisted and turned, making beautiful shapes that seemed to dance to silent music. Elena forgot about the cold as she watched the lights. Time seemed to stop. She felt connected to something much bigger than herself. It was an amazing experience, a reminder of how beautiful the universe is. Elena watched the lights for hours. She took pictures, but they couldn't capture the real magic. It was something you had to see and feel with your own heart. As the lights began to fade, Elena felt a little sad, but she was also thankful that she had seen such a beautiful sight. The next day, Elena wanted to see more of Iceland's natural wonders. She rented a car and drove to the Snæfellsnes Peninsula. This area is called Miniature Iceland because it has so many different landscapes. She drove past huge glaciers, black sand beaches, and small fishing villages. She hiked to the top of Mount Kirkjufell, its special shape reflected in the water below. She explored lava caves formed by volcanoes long ago. Everywhere Elena went, she felt amazed by the beauty around her. The air was fresh and clean, and the only sounds were the wind and the waves. She felt far away from the noise and business of normal life. One evening, Elena was staying at a cozy guest house on the coast. As she sat by the window drinking hot tea, she saw a faint green glow in the distance. The northern lights were back, putting on another show just for her. As her trip came to an end, Elena felt sad. She had fallen in love with Iceland, its beautiful landscapes and friendly people. She had challenged herself, faced her fears, and seen the most amazing light show in nature. At the airport, waiting for her plane, Elena took one last look at the snowy landscape. She knew she would never forget this experience. Iceland had changed her. As the plane took off, Elena closed her eyes and smiled. She carried the memory of the northern lights, dancing like green fire in the sky, in her heart. It reminded her that magic is real, even in the coldest and darkest places. Back home, Elena felt different. The things she used to care about seemed small compared to the amazing things she saw in Iceland. She felt adventurous and grateful for the beauty of nature. She told her stories and showed her pictures to everyone, her eyes shining as she described the magic of the northern lights. She knew Iceland would always be special to her, a reminder to look for adventure and explore new things. Elena's trip to Iceland became more than just a trip. It changed her life, making her want to live with more purpose, more wonder, and a deeper connection to the world. It was a journey she would always remember, a reminder of the power of nature and the beauty of the aurora borealis.
Artianza Remix.